I'm at Blancpain Manufacture, which is in Labrasu, and we are now going to discover inside what's happening. It's a manufacturer, of course, so excited, super excited. Hello and welcome back to Lux Insider with Anita Khatri. I'm in the beautiful, pristine Valley du Joux, Switzerland, of course, at the Blancpain Manufacture. And when Blancpain invites you for a global launch of a special novelty, you know you are in for a treat. So come follow along. There was a very specific reason behind this visit. It wasn't just about seeing a watch, it was about discovering what goes into creating one of the most complex complications in horlogerie, but yet wearable watch, the Grand Double Sonnerie. And what made this experience truly special was the way it unfolded. Before the timepiece was ever revealed, we were invited to understand what lives inside this watch. We were welcomed in the morning by the CEO himself, Mr. Mark Hayek, along with the entire team behind this extraordinary creation, including the watchmakers who brought it to life. The day began with a warm breakfast, setting the tone for what would be a deeply immersive experience. From there, we were led into specially created labs where watchmakers and technicians explained scientifically and meticulously what it takes to build a grand double sonnerie. Sound is at the heart of this complication when I say it's a grand double sonnerie. This Grand Double Sonnerie offers two distinct chimes, the classic Westminster melody and a second exclusive tune developed in-house, the Blancpain tune. The wearer can select from the two melodies by switching back and forth via a push of a button on the case. We discovered how the gongs function, how sound is created, how frequency is controlled, and how each note must be absolutely perfect. Every micron, every vibration, every detail matters because only then does the sound come alive. And as if that weren't enough, this timepiece also incorporates a retrograde perpetual calendar reimagined with a new construction, seamlessly integrated into an already complex mechanism. Grand Double Sonnerie also has a flying tourbillon. In spite of the complications, it is a wearable watch and I tried the same. I felt only power, elegance, simplicity round my wrist. What we witnessed was the result of 8 years of intense research, testing, and relentless trial and error. It has 21 patents with 1,116 components out of the total of 1,118 components. 1,053 components were all entirely designed, produced, assembled, and decorated in house development. Development began as early as 2017, and after nearly 8 years of work, the watch was finally ready to be revealed. This wasn't just a manufacture visit. It was a journey into innovation, precision, and the art of sound in watchmaking. All this would be impossible without the two watchmakers, Romain and Yuan. Both of them have worked on two timepieces, one in rose gold and other in white gold. Each timepiece has taken 12 months of work in assembling from A to Z by each of them. Both of them had not only to plan how to assemble, but also to design and create special tools for getting it all perfect. Mr. Mark Hayek says the Grand Double Sonnerie is one of the most difficult complications to create. It's the queen of watchmaking complications. Congratulations, Alexio, for the Grand Double Sonnerie.
Thank you.
What a beautiful masterpiece. What does Alexios say about tradition with innovation?
Yes, it's a tradition of innovation, we call it. It blends the two words. but we have this tradition of innovating. This is what we mean. Now there are examples in our history, like the 50 Fathoms, which is the first modern diving watch, but it was born from a need. So our CEO of the time was a diver, needed a watch to time his dives, and developed one. Now we have been innovating in things like the diving watch, but we have also been innovating in making the watches more convenient, more wearable. If you take, for example, the Villeray timepieces with the underlag correctors, it's innovations that make the watch more practical so the user can appreciate the watch. We make watches to be worn. And, we are blending traditional watchmaking and innovation to, of course, present new things, but also making more convenient and wearable existing complications.
What was the emotion that went behind designing this masterpiece?
I think this was from the very beginning of this project what Mr. Hayek wanted. He wants timepieces that give you a smile, that allow you to appreciate them. And it was from the very beginning something he was looking for, a watch that you would have on your wrist and that you would be able to play with. So if you have a Grande Sonnerie, you want to listen to your sonnerie. So you must feel free anytime to activate your minute repeater with a button or have it en passant, but having the sonnerie ring and give you a smile. So it's not a timepiece for a safe, because once again, Blancpain, we make watches, and watches are made to be worn, of course, to answer some needs, information of time, of date, etc. But then you develop a personal relation with them. And I think this is where we try to stay relevant, or I hope we remain relevant in terms of continuing in a very consistent and long-term way of developing our watches for ourselves as the first customer.
And when it comes to the Indian customer, personalization plays an important role for Indian customer. But with the Grand Sonnerie, you are already speaking about personalization within the brand. What is it that we can expect more now from you?
On the Grande Sonnerie, you mean?
No, on the personalization front. Is it that we will see more and more personalization in the world of Blapa?
Um, Again, there are two things in terms of products. There are a lot of things we already can propose. Again, because we have this force internally to be able to adapt the product to some engraving in the rotors. Not all products are, um, pieces adapted to personalization. If you take a 50 Fathoms, um, it has to remain a diving watch. It has to remain legible. If
Mm-hmm.
you personalize the colors and then you cannot read the time
Mm.
underwater, this is something we will not do, because it has to still have its function. If you want to personalize the rotor, it's something you can already do at
Yes,
Blancpain.
that's true.
So in terms of timepieces, there are watches that are more adapted to personalize, and we already do it, even though we don't communicate it enough, certainly. But then there is also a personalization of service, of hospitality. And here we also have a very big tradition in Blancpain in our way of welcoming our guests, our customers, of exchanging. I think we are a brand that doesn't take itself too seriously. In What I mean is we are welcoming and we are friendly. And we are open also. We don't yet have a boutique in India. I hope we will have one in the near future. But in our boutiques, we want that to be a space, even if you're not a customer, even if you don't have the money yet to buy a Blancpain watch. If you want to learn about watches, if you want to discuss, if you want to see something, we welcome you. We have this openness, I think, that you don't always find in auto horlogerie brands.
So it's more human. It has the soul, if I would say so. Yeah. Also,
Beliefs.
Blapa, I would say, is quite luxury.
Yes, it
It's
is.
silent luxury.
We are not a show-off brand, and we will not be a show-off brand. I mean, this is not what we are looking for. And again, in our marketing, we don't do, this show-off. As you saw in the presentations today, we wanted to adapt the presentation of this watch to its level of, what it is as a watch. a complication, not a show around it. We could do a big party with fireworks. Uh, what's the point? You know, we wouldn't have been able to explain about the watch itself.
Now tell me more on the making of this masterpiece, Grand Double Sonnerie.
I think we give the time to our watchmakers, to our research teams, to our artisans to perfect their art, which is the traditional art. If you, the presentations we had today, I think is a good example. We started with the lab where you have the research and development and all the engineering to master the sound, to understand the sound. But then the watch is created by the watchmakers and the artisans with the traditional ways. Simply today, you might have a bench for the watchmaker to go in the laboratory and you know, test the sound of his timepiece being assembled, and then being able to be informed how to correct it. But you have this dialogue between modern technology and traditional methods, and this allows us to push a little bit the limits, which has been something in the marketing of watchmaking. We always say pushing the limits. And I think it's an illustration here what it means when you look at the decoration, for example, with the anglage. We do these inner angles that are not being done anymore with traditional tools, but now we have binoculars and much, much smaller tools. And it's exactly the same method of doing it by hand, completely by hand. But you know, we have a métier d'art department here internally at Blancpain with artists, and our decoration team has been training with our métier d'art team, who are engravers of the highest level. We have even the meilleure ouvrière de France engraver. You know, she's the highest distinction of her art, working in-house here, and she showed how to use a burin. So it's the tool they use for the art engraving, and now we use that for the inner angles of the movement decoration. And you know, you have this possibility with the binoculars, with tools that become smaller, and the new technology for the glue to have the little paper, you know, to go and do the polishing. That is developed in-house, and it allows them to go further, make even more detailed decoration. So it pushes further what they can do with their very traditional methods.
Blancpain has established itself as it should have as an horlogerie brand even in India. And it's aspirational, collectors love it. What do you have to say when it comes to India as a market?
Globally, I think it's a market that will surprise us, or I think the surprise is not there anymore. Let's say it differently. In the past, I think people in the Swiss watch industry thought that India was not yet ready, you know, to become the big market like China, for example, has become. I think that time has now come, and there is an effervescence in the industry now, thinking we have to go in India, we have to establish ourselves in India. And so in the global, from the global view, I think, you know, there are a lot of expectations, including from our side. Now, in terms of Blancpain, we have some very good customers in India,
Yes.
but I think we really need to address a new audience, because we have a small group of people who know very well about watches, who place Blancpain in the position it should be. A lot of people who love our métier d'art timepieces. These are
True.
unique timepieces.
Yes, absolutely. With all the personalization, right?
Personalization, and
Yes.
these are unique pieces.
Yes.
And these are done here in Le Brassus. In our internal workshops, we do a lot of Ganesh engravings,
Yes.
and we have some amazing techniques. But this is a niche territory. We would really want to be able to present Blancpain to many more people in India, and with your help also be able to
Yes.
expand a little bit our message.
Absolutely. For Indian women as well. If you had to describe a Blancpain customer, how would you define the Blancpain customer?
I don't think there is only one type of Blancpain customer. I think A lot of people are drawn to Blancpain because we are not show off.
So they like quite luxury. They
They
are
like
more
quite
discreet.
luxury and discretion, but not only. Then you also have people that are, have big collections of timepieces from many brands and want to have a Blancpain because, for example, the 50 Fathoms is iconic.
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of saying, the Blancpain customer fits in a box. I think we have
Okay.
all types of
Customers.
people and customers, and some people don't know all sides of Blancpain. For
Mhm.
example, in the United States or even the UK today, many people know the brand only from the 50 Fathoms.
So when you say all sides of customers, it's all kind of different
From the collections, I
collection
mean.
point of view. But Blancpain and 50 Fathoms are synonymous when it comes to US. That's what you say.
US knows Blancpain mainly from the 50 Fathoms, and we
Hmm.
need to communicate more on the Villeray. If you take Asian countries, in many countries, Blancpain is known more for the Villeray and the
Villeray.
classic timepieces.
And like India is known for?
In India, I think it's more the classic timepieces until now, but this is changing in the last few years, and
What
this is
makes you
great.
what makes you feel that it's changing?
We have our brand manager that is there, and he's
Yes.
doing events with our retailers, and we present the brand to more and more customers, and there is a lot of interest in the 50 Fathoms now.
Well, now you need to come down to India and
I
see for
would love
yourself.
to.
How often have you been to India?
I've never been to India, and I'm
There
really
you
looking
go. You
forward to
say
come
that
to
the
India.
market is serious, you are staying invested, and you want Indian customer to, you have to come to India to feel the customer.
I would love to, and it's even from much younger that I'm looking forward to come one day to India. And now that I have taken over the marketing at Blancpain, I think I will soon have the opportunity to come.
Please, you need to. Thank you, Alexio. Thank
Thank
you so
you,
much.
thank you.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video the way I have thoroughly enjoyed and actually got enlightened watching and discovering the inside of a complicated mechanism, which is the Grand Double Sonnerie. Please do not forget to leave your comments below and do not forget to press the like button. If you have anything else to share with me, leave the comment behind. And I hope you have subscribed the channel. And if you haven't already, please press the subscription button now. Thank you for watching.